here inside of Nissan Stadium. Tonight's a showdown inside the AFC South. It's the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. Here's Chimere DK on the return. He's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So the Titans ready for their opening drive of the game. And in his 8th season as a QB, he's the one to lead them out.
We really do marvel at the way he can wiggle himself out of tough situations, almost like a wizard out there. Sure, some are probably of his own doing, as he loves to extend plays and improvise. But if someone misses a block or runs the wrong route, this is a quarterback that can erase the mistakes of others around him. You sure love that guy leading your team.
First down, now we're on. And they're full steam ahead, but he ran out of steam pretty quickly. No gain on that one.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, they're going to tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Now he'll throw off the play fake. All the time in the world. Trying to turn balls out, he lost it. And the Texans have it. They get a little extra on top of that fumble recovery as they take possession. Man, this is a tough ask of your defense so early in a game, Brock, sending them out on short notice and a short field after you fumble it away.
But these are the critical moments defensively you got to live for, right? This is called sudden change. They practice this, and it's your time to put out this fire.
Well, here come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their QB, now in his 8th season in the NFL.
He's one of the select group of quarterbacks where when he takes the field, everyone, and I mean everyone, takes notice. He's part of the game's elite and the game's most important position. And it really is a spectacle, Kate, anytime he leads an offense out, because you know he's capable of plays that other quarterbacks in this league simply cannot make.
New set of downs from 37. Running for the first time with Joe Mixon. To the 23-yard line as he's brought down. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll be first down, Houston.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go for first down or first down with just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, just infuses your offense with confidence.
We'll go play action on first down. Throw right side, Dell has it. And he gets this forward to the 19.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up. And the shotgun, a gift to Mixon. Inside the 10. And he stopped as we get closer to our first point to this ball game. It's going to be first and goal now.
I call that a table setter right there. Table setter for yourself as a team in that huddle, gaining confidence on the ground, and you know that's going to set the table for some great play action pass to come.
First and goal, they're hoping for an opening drive touchdown. It's down a bootleg. And this is going to be a Houston touchdown. The Texans get a perfect start. They've gone up 6-0. Nico Collins with a touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ballgame.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you can go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Here's Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Texans will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
From the chains they forged, the ground is
return starts at the 5. Pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Well, this upcoming week, Brock, a big one for all of us here in the Madden community. It is the John Madden Thanksgiving Celebration Week. Chance for all of us to celebrate our namesake, the impact he's had on the sport we love across an incredible week of games. It all begins with Green Bay at Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, and it's going to continue all the way through to the bookend. Giants at Patriots. Rematch of a couple of Super Bowls on Monday night. That's an 8-yard chunk to start this one. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Last run got him 9, so now they need one more here on 2nd down. They're going play action. Out left, and Lockett makes the grab. And his short game gets them a new set of downs.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
39-yard line.
So fresh set of downs now from the 39. To throw here on 1st down. Great coverage all the way to the sideline. They're on him to end that quick pass before he can get vertical.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
Offense to the line, 2nd down. And they're going to throw out of the gun. That's him on the quick hitter. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3. So chipping away a few here ahead of this 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
Still 10 yards to get this 1st down as they come to the line. They'll throw 3rd and long. Finds him over the middle. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. 12 yards on that play and a good call, and that's on the 1st.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd down. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Here's the handoff. He's got to gain a 6 there. Look at Jimmy Ward getting up there and make that stop.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3. He's going to throw it. Completed over the middle. Throwing gain 7. And the Titans have the 1st. Now the completion rate is strong, partner. The yards, you gotta imagine, will start to come soon enough.
You never go broke taking a profit, and you know this one too, Kate. The crumbs always lead to...
Oh, the cookie. All set to go now from the 35. going in motion here. Finds him on the crossing route. He's brought down at the 17-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's good for a Tennessee first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Working inside the red zone. Right back to Ridley. Caught again. Touchdown, Tennessee. The Titans cut it to a load of points on the scoreboard. Calvin Ridley with the touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. He sure did.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Titans tie this game 7-7. Tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Set to return, this is Braxton Berrios. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. This Texans offense readied up for its second drive of the contest. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
All right, the Houston offense looks set, Brock. Here's 1st and 10. The play fake, he'll throw. On target to his back, Joe Mixon. This is going to be contained at the 25-yard line. Xavier Woods up to make the tackle.
Hey, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. But one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Second down pass play coming. Finds the in route complete. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And it'll be a first down Texans.
A gain of 14. First down, Texans.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Short pass brought in. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. Even 10-yard gain on the play. And it'll be first down Houston. No doubt they take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
First and 10, around the Mixon. Oh, the football's loose! And they pick it up, time to push for that marker! And he almost took it from turnover to first down, just a little bit shy of reaching that marker. Give him 9 yards, he almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Almost the impact play this defense was searching for, but they could only get half the job done, partner. Fumble forced, but they couldn't recover.
I'll tell you what else it forces, though. That coordinator, that play caller on the other side, now got a little bit of doubt about his ball handlers. Got to have better ball security than that.
And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. Pickup of 2 here, and it'll be a first down Texans.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
Houston.
From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Finding Collins. Their next snap is coming from that red zone as he reaches the 14. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
And the Texans, first down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
A give to Mixon up the middle. Fine traffic up the middle there, and he's bounced outside, now from 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
Every offense in this league is looking for a back who can be an athlete and a bruiser at the same time. You feel lucky if you got one. Someone who can, well, eat up space when the lanes are open, deliver a little punishment to stretch plays when that tackler tries to meet him in the hole.
2nd and manageable, he's throwing. Comes the pressure, and he's going to be dropped by the Texans. And that tech may change the next play call as it sends him backwards ahead of 3rd down.
Ben, even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Here he goes, 3rd and long. Throws caught. He's going to be short of that goal line, Brock, but not of the marker. They've got a 1st and goal.
That's another Texans first down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
Chubb can't push it across. They make the stand. It looks like they might have stopped him a little bit behind the line, too. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gets more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you can put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9, all the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Now here he goes on the boot. And he's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans break the tie here in the 1st. Nico Collins with a touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. A quick 2nd score for him, Brock, already. And we aren't even out of this opening quarter yet.
I think I just saw that D coordinator rip up his game plan down on the sidelines because you got to find some new resources here. You got to dedicate more bodies, more physicality to this playmaker because we know in this league, when you get a guy going like this, they're going to go to him until you stop him.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Texans take the lead here, 14-7 in the 1st. Chestnut to return. Showing a little burst so far. They're going to bring him down as he gets it to the 33. The Titans ready to take over on offense. They just witnessed maybe the most impressive drive we've seen all game, Brock, and now they get a chance to answer with one of their own.
Engines of fury.
First down now, ball at the 33.
Pressure's rising higher.
They're going to throw here to begin the drive. Into the hands of Okonkwo. Now, 1st first down, only gets about a yard here. The defender there to force him out.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down.
I am the fire!
Here's the throw. And back-to-back passes that should have been intercepted. 2 great chances to take it away. Both of them dropped, Brock, and now they stay out there for third down.
Hey, Kate, you feeling lucky? Well, the quarterback is, because he just dodged a major turnover. That was an easy pick that was simply dropped.
To the air on third and long. That one's caught by Jefferson. And he has it down near the red zone, just outside the 20.
A gain of 43 yards. That's good for a Titans. First down. First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Hauled in by Lockett, right side. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Still sticking with the passing game. Gets him on the in route. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
All right, they look set now. Here we go, 1st and 10. One quarter down in this all-AFC South contest. It's a 14-7 game. More from Nissan Stadium coming up after the break.
Let break the chains! Let the thunder roar! Stand your ground! I'm ready for war! Louder than steel! I will stand tall! Break the chains! I will crush it all!
Ready to go with our second quarter. Titans with the ball and a chance to score. Throwing it again here. That'll be incomplete to start the new set of downs. Looking for Tyler Lockett on that play. So it'll be 2nd down.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
After the incompletion, they come up on 2nd and 10.
Every promise that they gave me.
Here's the one back on the handoff. 2 yards all he can get. It's 3rd down.
Hey, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Play number 8 of this drive, and it's 8 that they need here on 3rd down. Third and long for him here. This one's caught. And he's tackled for a short gain.
Digital short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter, but they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
The Titans will turn to their kicker, Joey Slye, here on 4th down, looking for this field goal. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Slye's kick is up and good, and it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
You can try to dim the fire.
they've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Barrios now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Texans headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. They have played lights out on offense. Scored their first 2 times out, Brock. A chance to go 3 for 3 and grow that lead here.
In the quiet, I still hear the sound.
Texans to the line. 1st and 10.
Every heartbeat is shaking the ground. No more chains, I'll never be bound.
Out to Chubb to start the drive. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Gonna lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Be lost, I won't be found.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down.
Hear me now.
Trying to throw this from the gun. Into the hands of Schultz. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
About set. This is 3rd and 5. Throwing from the gun. Into the hands of Dell. And he's tackled with a 1st down yardage.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Texans, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
We've set it down from 37. Working on 1st down. No finding his back. Mixon. This is taken ahead to the 42. Roger McCreary brings him down that time.
You know, these running backs today, they are so versatile. It doesn't matter if they're running it, or in this case, same principle applies on routes out of the backfield. You don't get somebody close to him, that throw is headed his way.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Throwing off the play fake. And for the first time, one of his throws doesn't find a home. It's incomplete, but boy, what a streak he had to begin this game. Now, what a stretch to begin the game, Brock. That finally his first incompletion. He had been perfect across so many looks before that.
Hard. It's just hard to be perfect with that kind of precision. That was rhythm. It's truly rhythm personified.
Yeah, it makes you marvel at the NFL record, doesn't it? That slid this great note from our stats savant, Daniel Kitchen. Phillip Rivers owns that record, Brock. 25 straight completions to begin a game. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
The ball's on the 48. Here we go. 1st down. The handoff from Mixon, running right. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're set backwards on 1st down. Now, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you called 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Play number 9 of the drive. It's going to be 3rd and 5 to go. They're throwing it. Gets it quickly to Noel. And that short field pass, Brock, is held to the short field. It's going to be 4th and short.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face, because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
Ooh, snap came in slow, but he got it away. Now this one, not much of a chance of it staying in the field of play. They'll mark it out at the 13-yard line. So the Tennessee offense headed out for another series. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Tennessee to the line. 1st and 10. Brought down just as he gets it up to the 24. They gain 11 on that play, and the Titans have a first.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Back-to-back carries here, and he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. They're going to try and throw it here. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. So that brings them to 3rd down. One of the rare instances there, Brock, where the quick slant doesn't win against zone coverage. Just couldn't hang on to the football.
No, we know this, Kate. In man coverage, it's about that separation, right?
Yeah.
You've got to win and create leverage. Versus zone, it's all about that anticipation and accuracy. And if you're not on point, that zone defender can break it up.
Finds him over the middle. And that is a great stop to deny him the marker. It's going to be 4th down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're at the training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days. You need to make a play in the open field. Keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
The Texans and running back Joe Mixon headed out for their next series. They didn't add to their lead last time out, so they punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. All right, the Houston offense looks set, Brock. Here's 1st and 10. They're going play action. This one's out to Noel, left side. They'll get him 5 yards. He gets this out to the 25.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. Johnson up the middle. Plunge is going to garner a couple of yards. Brought down by Draymond Jones.
Sometimes it's not about flash and sizzle, Kate. Sometimes it's about old school football. Give your fullback the ball, and he's going to go get you a couple yards.
Titans sending out some nickel coverage here. 3rd down. Here he is on 3rd and short. Got his man. This is Noel. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
And the Texans, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Go play action on 1st down. Looking underneath here to Mixon. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic. But it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. The tight end in motion now. Here's Chubb on 2nd down. And he will not get this is close. Looks like they're going to have about a yard at most to gain after he picked up 3. Third down.
That's a gain of 3.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
He's going to keep this one. And this defense is going to win this round. They hold strong there in the middle, get him down right at the line. 4th down coming up.
That's all you could really expect from a sneak, Kate. 1, maybe a couple yards. So in that way, their job was executed. But the play call, well, that leaves me, and I think many, scratching their heads.
The Texans set to punt. The Titans with G-Ray-DK to return. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. We'll get another look at this Tennessee offense. And as they get set, partner, gotta imagine they're bringing some urgency with them to the field this drive, too.
Yeah, I think you and I both know in calling these NFL games that sense of urgency can be replaced by full-blown panic in a hurry. So find a way to possess the ball and, more importantly, score some points.
Titans to the line now. 1st and 10. Motion man left is Lockett. Holmes back in the backfield, and they give it to him. Drops by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
He was tackled at the 20.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play. But it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Tight end wheels in a shallow throw. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. Give him 13 on that play. That's good for a Tennessee 1st down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
They send a tight end in motion. Just 2 minutes to play here in our opening half. More from Nissan Stadium coming up. 1st and 10 now from the 46.
Here comes the beast. The night will fall. Here comes the beast.
Work against the blitz. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Bryant getting it to Tyler Lockett. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, well, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
2nd down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. He's going to throw it again. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. They're going to hold him down just shy of the 40. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
1st down, play action. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
You know I love those true completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get into a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
They are throwing it again. It's caught. This is Tajay Spears. And on 1st down, only gets about a yard here. force him out.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner, but really importantly as a check-down outlet on short throws.
Throwing from the gun here. Strong pass brought in. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Leading 4 here on third down. This is going to be the 9th play of this drive. Back to throw. Hold him by Lockett, right side. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage. Timeout coming from the Texans. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
I whispered with the fates to cut your mortal thread, but every curse I plotted comes striking.
The Titans will turn to their kicker, Joey Sly, here on 4th down, looking for this field goal. It's a 34-yarder from that right hash. Sly's kick is up and good, and they're able to convert despite that errant snap.
It's only 3 points, and they're going to still trail at halftime, but every little bit helps. And I'll tell you this as well. It also helps maybe later in the game. Got a fourth quarter clutch kick, have that confidence built. That's important.
But you keep rising when the mighty fall. Hercules, you defy it all.
They just trim back down to a single-point prop as they send this off and away. Barrios now to return it. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Charge forward through hell's own gate.
Beginning a new drive here, but just 16 seconds to go before halftime.
I cannot break.
All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple yards there.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
So less than a field goal separating these teams after our first 2 quarters. As we throw to Scott Hansen with our halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome into the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you on an abridged halftime report. Good competitive first half. This game kind of has a punch-counter-punch feel to it, as reflected on the scoreboard. Tight game going into the second half. Can either team pull away? To find out, let's go back to the stadium and our broadcast team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
I am Hades, yet I could not make you fall.
Thanks so much, Scott. While we checked in with Scott in Orlando, our 2 teams here no doubt made some adjustments. It's a close game here as we get ready for our third quarter. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Damian Pierce now to return it. This manages to get just beyond that 30-yard line. Now here's the Houston offense. They've got it first to begin the third. And they take the field in good but not great shape, Brock. They've got that lead, but no doubt they'd love to see it grow.
Yeah, just having the lead does take some pressure off. It doesn't change the sense of urgency. It's always on tilt in the NFL, but it should allow them to operate a little more freely.
New set of downs for him from the 31. Second half's going to start with a run by Chubb. Off the sideline, past the 45. And Excellent game. 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
You know he'll never shy away from embracing contact on a play right up the gut. Come on. You know getting that toss in the open field is so much more fun. And on that play, certainly more exciting for all of us to watch too.
Nixon on the counter. Finds a nice lane there, and that's good for 6 yards.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. If you run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
First down run gets him 6, so now it is 2nd and 4. Motioning one of the tight ends. They'll go play action. Finds a man right side. And he takes it inside the 35 before heading out. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
Throwing now on first down. Completed down. And they're going to get to him after a gain of close to 5 as they send him out.
There's no negatives ever on the grade sheet for completion. That's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Here's Chubb up the middle. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Jeffrey Simmons that time on the tackle.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
To the line. Here's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw here. This connects with Schultz. He gets this down to the 13-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll be first down, Houston.
First down. A gain of 14.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. They give inside the jump. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate, training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp is coming to life when it matters.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. He's going to throw this one. That's room into the secondary. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans grow the lead coming out of halftime. Nico Collins with a touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. 3 touchdown catches in one game is rare air, Brock. Safe to say most guys who retire can name every time they did that here in the NFL.
Yeah, I hope he remembers it, but also remember this. Receivers, they're a dependent position. They're dependent on the guys doing their job up front. They're dependent on the quarterback putting on the spot. And usually, when you reach a milestone like this, you love to share it with everybody else. And my guess, especially if they can find a way to win this one, this receiver will celebrate it with all of his guys.
That one right down the middle. And the Texans grow their lead to 8. He fields it from the 8. Showing a little burst so far. He's racing past midfield. And he's out of bounds. This is a great start for them already on their opponent's side of the field. So now here comes the Titans on offense. And they settled for a field goal on their last series. so points are a positive, but they'll look to upgrade to a touchdown here. The ball's on the 48. Here we go. First down. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he takes it down to the 33. They pick up 14 yards on that one, and the Titans have a first.
Simply put, Kate, that is a drive starter extraordinaire.
You tried to crush me, but I won't kneel. I'm unbreakable.
First down now, ball at the 33.
You can't bend me, you can't end me. I will never fall. Made of steel.
Another carry for it. And having gained up that handful there. Play made by E.J. Speed.
Humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front seven.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. Throwing now off the play action. Left side, caught by Ridley. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 3.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
Scars on my body, stories on my skin. Every loss I've taken taught me how to win. Push me harder, I'll strike back twice. Turn me
Back to throw now. That one's caught by Jefferson. And he gets this forward to the 19. 7 yards on that pickup. And that's good for a Tennessee first down.
And those are the completions they rely on in their passing game.
A new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And a big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
I will rise and never break again. I will rise and I'll never break again. Stand tall, made of steel. Fight on, made of steel. Won't fall, made of steel. Vital to broken the buckle, made of steel.
Pass rush could be coming again after that last sack, Brock. Let's see. Here's 2nd and 19.
Feel the fire I feel.
Let's play now. And again, an interception is drawn. Looked a whole lot like the last play, didn't it, partner? And again, the turnover escapes them. It's going to be 3rd down.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bring it to the end. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
Lucky to avoid that turnover. Might need some more luck here if they want to convert on this 3rd and long. 3rd and long for him here. That is once again incomplete, and consecutive incompletions have now pushed them to 4th down.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? If it chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
The Titans will turn to their kicker, Joey Sly, here on 4th down, looking for this field goal. From the right hash, about 45 yards out. Sly's kick is up and good. And that gets him back within 5.
Listen, all he could do is make the kicks he's called out there to make. They need extra points from him, but for now, he's able to handle his 3rd field goal of the game, just inch them a little bit closer.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Pierce now on the return. Decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. The Texans are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. Texans to the line, 1st and 10. Begin the drive with Chubb. They'll stop him here before he gets out to the 47-yard line. They get 19 on that pickup. And it'll be a 1st down, Texans.
Oh, that vision he has when he gets into space like a chess master. Seeing multiple moves ahead of time. He knows who's going to attack and what angles, and he maneuvers his way through before someone could finally get to him.
Staying between the tackles with Mixon. And he gets it across midfield and into Titans territory. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
7 yards on that last play, so this is 2nd and 3. Takes the handoff, now to throw. Go right side, hauled in by Collins. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
And the Texans, 1st down. A gain of 22 yards. 1st down, Texans.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Pass play on 1st and 10. Low right side, Dell has it. They get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped.
4 yards.
And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it'll be 1st down, Houston.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl of that.
And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. The Titans 7-yard line.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. Sticking to the air here. And this is going to be a Houston touchdown. The Texans hold an 11-point advantage. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. The point after splits the upright. And the Texans push the lead up to 12.
28. Titans 16.
Chains broke, but the fight keeps going. Every step I take shakes the ground below. Power flows and the fire showing. I was born for this and the world will know. You can't break me, you can't shake me. You can't crush me.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff.
Kickoff for Houston.
Here's Chestnut on the return. Coverage team gets him down to the 26-yard line. Out come the Titans for another offensive possession. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to.
I'll never fall. I'll rise again. Stand up, scream out.
Tennessee to the line. 1st and 10.
Burn loud.
Throwing off the play fake. Cut out left. And he gets this one up to the 40-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Titans have a first.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum. Keep that defense on its heels.
From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. Dive up the middle. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Throwing now out of the shotgun. Completed here to Spears. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's good for a Tennessee 1st down.
This running back is a mismatch maker. That's how I label him on my little sheet right here. Right under his bio, this guy just creates matchup nightmares for every defender on the field.
They'll run here on 1st down. He spins right by him. He has it to the 23-yard line as he's brought down. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, Kate. They don't always get the attention they deserve on the broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. The play fake, he'll throw. On him quick, and they bring him down. Big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate. When you put the ball in the air, how many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with the sack.
After the sack, let's see what the offense does here. 2nd and 18 coming up. In the air here. Dump off caught by his back. And they stop him. He's marked down on that 18-yard line.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains. I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out. And this time it was out of the backfield with the running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
Quite the drive they've had, Brock, but they're up against it. 3rd and 5 now. Looking to throw. And that is a Tennessee touchdown. The Titans shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Tyler Lockett, the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Here's Slide to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Titans trim the deficit down to 5.
From the ashes we will stand tall. Hear the cry, hear the call. We are the fire. Rise tonight.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Barrios now to return it. Things going well so far. Pass midfield, and he's got space. And he'll finally go out of bounds after an excellent return. He gets it down
time he shifted into a different gear and began that foot race up the left sideline, you could tell this return was already getting out of hand. And what a gift for this offense, who now gets to take over with a lot of the work in the field position already done.
The Texans ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. And they're going to throw out of the gun. That's him on the quick hitter. He's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Okay, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s. Versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
1st and 10, around to Mixon. Solid run in here. That's 9 yards as he brings up 2nd down.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want in the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the game they did.
After a quality effort on the last play, just really need to fall forward here to pick up that 1st down. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Gives him more enough. They're able to drop him. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Even from the booth, Kate, I can hear it. I can hear that front 7. Telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did. Wasted no time in getting that sack.
I'm set here on this 3rd down from the Titans. 6 DBs out there. Setting up to throw. And he's dropped. They get there with the sack. And that brings us to the end of this 3rd quarter. A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we reach the end of 3. It's the Texans in possession of it, needing to preserve that lead over one final quarter.
Voices echo in the flame. Every prayer becomes a name. Now the heavens lead his hand. And no one dares to
Kaimi Fairbairn on now as we see how he handles this moment. From the left hash, about 31 yards out. Bracken for it, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game.
Kate, it's 3 more on the scoreboard, but both sides really know it's all about one possession here in the 4th quarter when it really matters.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Here's Chestnut on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. The Titans returning their offense and this running back to the field. And his production is carried over into this 2nd half. He keeps on running well even with the workload they placed upon him.
The chains I burn the sky.
Titans to the line now. 1st and 10. Off the play fake. He'll throw. O'Kate's locking along that sideline, and he's got it.
That one came with a higher degree of difficulty. He had to balance focusing on the catch while staying in bounds.
2nd and 6.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up. This is 3rd and 5. Work against the blitz. That's caught for the first. He's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41. They pick up 14 yards on that one, and the Titans have a first.
First down. 1st and 10.
And that right there is about the best you can hope for against double coverage. Good chunky yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and two guys can't stop one.
First down, play action. Is it holding up? They're able to drop it. It's 3 sacks for the game so far. Brings up 2nd down.
Ray, I understand that call. You try to get play action to get away from the rush. The problem is this defense has just been relentless.
A lot of work to do as that sack makes this a tough 2nd and 17. Back to throw. Pass is hauled in by the running back. He's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, kid, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. He's going to try to drop it in, deep right. He had it for a moment, but a complete defensive play. Jar it loose, incomplete.
Hey, eventually, Kate, as a quarterback, you better be careful throwing check down after check down after check down. Eventually, that defense will catch on to it, and they'll make him pay and punish him there physically.
Here comes the Titans punting unit. And he wants to hit his 2nd effort just as well as he hit his 1st. And that's well into the end zone, so a missed chance to stick them near the goal line. Instead, they're going to have the ball at the 20. The Texans headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this 2nd half. All right, the Houston offense looks set, Brock. Here's 1st and 10. They'll begin with a run by Mixon. This drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock them behind the sticks. Job well done there.
Trying to set up the screen for Mixon. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the 1st.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Pass play coming here. Throwing the out route complete. Randy crosses his sideline a yard or 2 beyond, looks like the 30. That one gains 7. And it'll be a first down, Texans.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
A give to Mixon up the middle. And they send it straight ahead, and the front stops him after a gain of 3.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. On the ground again with Mixon. And whatever they were trying to do there is not going to work. Defenders all over it, so they take him down for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline and his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Air it out on third. Complete beyond the marker. And he has it down near the red zone, just outside the 20.
That's just awesome, Kate. A little bit of multitasking on that catch. Primary focus, as I always say, is you got to catch it first. But out of the corner of his eye, he knew exactly where to go, and he gets a bunch of yak on top of him.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. Going right side, mixing with it. Some solid running here as he gets some 8 yards there into the red zone.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Nice run last play. Sets up 2nd and 2. They'll run. This is Joe. This play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. That's good for a couple of yards. And it'll be first down, Houston.
That is an old-school battle you simply love to see. An offense that close to a first down, a defense that knows there's a run headed its way. It's a battle of wills. It's the offense that gets it done this time.
Tight end in motion left. Going to the ground again on first. He's only able to get back to the line. It's going to be 2nd down.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. They're going play action. And in he goes for the Houston touchdown. The Texans go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. Tank Dell the touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Texans lead by 15 now. Set up for the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. He's brought down just inside the 25. The Titans ready to take over on offense. And they just saw that lead stretch out to a 2-score margin now. Really makes this a must-score series late.
And Kate, you know I believe this. You can never play this game in a state of desperation, but a state of urgency got to be at sky high right now.
First call here coming from the shotgun. They'll throw to start the drive. This is Ridley working the right side. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
2-0, Calvin Ridley. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Finds the in route, complete. He got mighty close, didn't he? But they marked him just short of the first. He's at the 34.
The takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you can take a lift at any time.
All right, looks like they're going to try to power this across. Goal line formation on 3rd and inches. They're loaded and ready for that sneak one play. They step him at the line. No gain.
Kate, is there a simpler play in football that's come to life more than the QB sneak? We see all different varieties now, but it has become so darn effective. And when you've got a tough QB that wants to put it on his shoulders, you sign up for it.
This time he's looking to throw. Fins it through the middle. He's all the way across midfield, down inside that 45-yard line. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
Another Titans first down. First and 10 at the 43.
Well, you don't normally get that type of outcome on a slant. You're just looking for a little short yard gain. But find the right type of athlete with space to work before and a perfectly placed ball after the catch. It's a perfect play to break it big.
Putting a receiver in motion. They go play action on first down. Finds a seam down the middle. He runs this to the 25 before being brought down. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Back to pass on first and 10. Onington nearly picked it. Oh, couldn't hang on in the end. The offense got lucky on a risky throw there. It's second down.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite hang on.
Getting to throw on second. That's caught. Once again, it's Ridley. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. They get 19, and now they're going to have first and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains. There wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
This offense in position now. It's first and goal. From the red zone now. And they will score. Touchdown, Tennessee. The Titans can make it a one-score game as they trim the lead. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
One splits the uprights. And the Titans get it back to within one score. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Pierce now on the return. Makes it up to the 25. The Texans and wide receiver Nico Collins ready to go once again. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to one score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. Texans to the line, first and 10. Throwing now off the play action. Again, he connects with Collins. And he's going to be taken down here after he takes it to the 45. Now we get a timeout taken by the Titans. That's their first. May still have 2 to work with in his final quarter. Just one play into this drive, and they are already sitting on their own 45. And the shotgun, a gift to Mixon. And the power play with the gun hole results in 2 yards. Tennessee calling its second timeout now. And with another one gone, they're going to have just one remaining this game. Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake, he'll throw. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. Now we get a pause, Brock, as the defense uses its final timeout, so the clock only going to stop again at our 2-minute warning.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
First down from the 42. On the carry, this is Mixon. This run is going to push him inside the 40. Give him 7 there.
That's what I call a rhythm starter right there. The offenses love execution plays like that on 1st down, Kate, because now that playbook is wide open. All options on the table for 2nd down.
That's the 2-minute warning here in Nashville. Texans up by 8. Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. Here's a counter give to Chubb. And he can't escape, Brock. They lose yards, but defensively, no timeouts left to stop the clock and take advantage. A great call in a short yardage situation right there, Brock, and that was exactly the type of front that defense needed to have.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love the X's and O's of it, and then even more, the guys going out there and executing it, pulling the trigger to create that loss.
Back to throw. Connects downfield, on target to Dell. That's 16 on the pickup. And it'll be a first down, Texans.
That's another Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
We burn, we break the earth in turn from the dead.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. Here's a design run. So the Texans come away with the road win. And Brock, we all know any win is a good win, but playing against a division rival, it always feels so much better dealing them one in the L column.
These are the teams that know you best, Kate, and also the ones that you know best. So yes, it is just a little bit sweeter when you take care of business in your own division.
That does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. With my partner in the booth, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. It's a win for the Texans as we say goodbye from Nashville.